It's time for FOMO. So today we are looking at two names that have been high flyers in the healthcare space, but not today after we got some reports that their pricing of these weight loss drugs could be called into question here, as President Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders did release a really interesting report here. So joining me to discuss more on this story, I'd like to welcome in Caroline Wood, Senior Markets Correspondent for the network. So Caroline, walk us through this, because I do think that this is a really interesting point, as these drugs have really been the overall, I'd say, focus of both of these companies' success as of late.
Yes, certainly, and they've been driving the stock prices higher, and shares of Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk are under pressure today after President Biden co-wrote this editorial with Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders with the headline, "Novo Nordisk, Eli Lilly must stop ripping off Americans with high drug prices." So Biden and Sanders say the drug makers are charging unconscionably high prices that are above those paid in other countries, saying there is no rational reason why Americans for decades have been forced to pay by far the highest prices in the world for the prescription drugs they need. There is no rational reason why for decades 1 out of 4 Americans have been unable to afford the medicine their doctors prescribe. Now, they specifically target and call out Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly and their GLP-1 diabetes and weight loss drugs, noting that Novo Nordisk's Ozempic and Wegovy can be several times higher than prices in Canada, Germany, and Denmark. And then also said it's not just Novo Nordisk, but also Eli Lilly, saying they're charging roughly $1,100 a month for Mounjaro, their weight loss drug. They also have Zepbound at Eli Lilly. And they actually pointed to a study from researchers at Yale University that found these drugs could be profitably manufactured for less than $5 a month, or $57 per year. So they're really examining those profit margins and saying, hey, there's no reason why people in Paris, Texas, who knew that that place even existed, should be paying that much higher than people in Paris, France for these drugs. So definitely weighing on shares today. I will say, just in response to, kind of the differences in prices, I was looking up this health policy organization called KFF, and they actually broke it down. And they said Ozempic is more than 5 times as expensive in the U.S. at $936 as in Japan, which is $169, which has the second highest list price. And Wegovy is nearly 4 times as expensive in the U.S. at $1,349 as in Germany, where it's $328. So, I mean, the difference in cost is really astounding. And President Biden and Senator Sanders said if pharmaceutical companies refuse to substantially lower prescription drug prices in our country and end their greed, we will do everything within our power to end it for them. So some fighting words there. Eli Lilly shares down about 1.5% today, still up 55% year to date. Taking a look, Novo Nordisk shares down about 2% today, still up almost 40% year to date. And we're also seeing some of the other drug makers not outside of the weight loss realm, also under pressure today as well. Merck is down about 0.5%. Pfizer is down about 1.3% today.
You know, Caroline, it looks like the snap reaction, at least in Lilly, was a little bit larger move to the downside. The stock traded down to about $8.75 before bouncing off the 1-month moving average, or EMA, and kind of getting back to where it is now. To me, that's the market saying kind of in real time, we think this is more bark than bite. Any analysts have a chance to weigh in yet, or anything that you're hearing in New York?
I haven't seen any actual ratings changes because of this op-ed, essentially. But, if you take a look at the analyst breakdown, you mentioned Eli Lilly, the snapback. I mean, Eli Lilly is actually trading above its median price target, despite the fact that there are 29 analysts that cover it and 23 have a buy rating. So, and it's seen the more impressive gains year to date of the two companies. So I do think that that's notable. The median price target's $880 and it's currently trading at $900 a share. For Novo Nordisk, median price target's $154. It's currently trading around $142. So still about $12 upside from there. But I do think that, $12 upside from there. Sorry, trying to do math on the spot here. So, haven't seen any drastic, changes or anything in terms of what the analysts actually have to say, but we could potentially, given how, the fact that Eli Lilly is trading above that median price target. I will say the other thing that stands out to me is that President Biden and Senator Sanders had said that the Big Pharma will claim that even if the actual prices are exorbitantly high, reducing them would drive down innovation and make innovative drugs like Ozempic less likely to be developed in the future. And that's, of course, what's been boosting these stock prices and lifting them so high this year. They say reaping the rewards of innovation is not in fundamental conflict with fair prices for consumers or helping the broadest set of possible pieces. So also kind of addressed the innovation side of it as well.
Yeah, this is fascinating. I thought that the most fascinating piece of information you gave is that it costs like $5 to manufacture, and we're just, like paying this astronomical markup. And I wonder if it's sort of to preserve right now. There's sort of an allure to it because it seems like something that obviously only to certain consumers can really afford. But this is obviously not good news for these drug manufacturers that have made a killing off of these overall developments in these drugs. It's been a really interesting story as far as healthcare is concerned. But we'll leave it there. Great breakdown as always, Caroline Wood, senior markets correspondent for the network.